Our old mate Colin Delutis is sitting up. He just sent a message through, ready to go. There's Eddie Betts.
Foxy's just sent me a text. He's ready to go.
The Fox family are ready to go. They're all in, ready to go.
I got a couple of mug mates from Frankston that called in. You've got the treasurer. You've got the multi-tycoon. I've got a couple of mates sitting around with a meat pie and a pot.
So we're ready to go. This is the great leveler about football, dude. Everyone's ready to go. And there he is.
He, as you say, he slid under the radar, Dan Hanbury. There's so much hype about the new recruits. He's literally a new recruit. Played a handful of games at best last year. Couldn't get fully fit, as was the case at Sydney. He looks like he's turned the corner in fitness now. He's a new recruit.
So here we go, the Saints in the all-white, basically, with the red and black stripe on the front. Carlton in the traditional navy blue. They should never wear anything other than that.
Correct.
And there they go.
There you go. Jack
Steele's got him. The man
He's a powerful kid, Jack Steele.
Up against Jack Steele. And away we go. First quarter, it's Carlton and St Kilda from Marvel Stadium.
Since 2012, the winner really in that top 8 tonight. Cripps gets the first little touch. It didn't go anywhere. Martin was over the ball. Still Hanbury. Ross out the back, okay. Billings' little ball didn't go far well. Pinate back he goes to Cripps. Wobbles it into the forward 50. Clark sort of looked away before he really had it. And then Hill around the corner. Does he get enough on it? He does, and that's some gut running done. And a good mark taken by Kent. So one of the many, BT, that have come from another club tonight.
He's been good, Kent. He's giving them something that they never had before. So is this guy here, Jacob Wiedering, marked immediately inside 50. The fast play was a push. Umpire said no. Wilkie was okay. Billings just growing and growing and growing is Billings, and we all know about Butler this year and last week against his old team, the Tigers. Super impressive. That's a good kick. Geary back in the side for St Kilda. They've missed him. Bowman's handball just back ever so slightly. Umpire lets it go, and Martin takes it over the line.
It is Jaron Geary, BT and Bruce, and has got the job on Sam Doherty coming into the team. Nice little intercept mark there by Wilkie, but Jack Steele is playing on Paddy Cripps, as we thought. Important role for him.
Yeah, a couple of real defensive matchups there from St Kilda.
Thanks for that, guys. So both the co-captains are being watched closely, and one by a captain who's back. So Murphy sweeps it to Walsh and gets it out wider still. So here's Mark.
Hold there.
Such a smooth mover, isn't he?
Yours.
Been a remarkable player.
Thank you.
So Walsh, the rising star in what was a fabulous draft, seemingly. Watching that unfold. Wilkie again, so a couple of good intercept marks by him.
And both of them have looked slightly in the back, although maybe optical illusion. Little ball wide. Opportunity now with Howard. So Dougal Howard's been a good get for the Saints, as well as a guy that can go both ways, forward back. Billings sideways to Steele. Thought about going, just feeling each other out at the moment, these two sides. That's a horrible kick on the line.
And the interesting thing, BT, is the rest of the Carlton half-back line, Petreski, Seaton and Simpson, they have to be the ones to generate that offensive slingshot that they like to do now that Doherty's going to get sat on by the St Kilda captain.
There is the veteran Simpson. Billings, Ross, Steele got that job on Cripps.
St Kilda. Time off.
So Marsh, maybe the first shot of the night. No, he's going to push it to King. He gets a good look, and he takes a beauty.
Oh, he's good with the hands, Bruce.
Oh, and he's a size BT, isn't he?
It's just the late hit there from Martin. But we have a look at just that forward craft there by King, just to get some space off Wiedering, and a fantastic kick allows him to run and jump at the ball, but it was his ability to put in some forward pressure and craft him away to get that space.
So 4 goals, 2 from set shots in his brief career today. Didn't play last year. He's guided at home, and the Saints get the first of the night. Gee, what, Joe, there's nothing better than having a target in football, is there?
No, that's right. And you can understand why St Kilda were very cautious with him wanting to come back from the ACL injury. But like his brother, you see the talent on display.
He looks like he's going to grab some big marks throughout the length of his career, doesn't he? Very capable overhead.
We just have a look here that King and Wiedering there in the goal square, just a strength and a second-year player to be able to create that separation. A beautiful kick allows him to run and jump at the ball, and a lovely finish. And two players that you'd love to see over the next 5 to 10 years playing on each other, Wiedering and King.
Toyota fan zone going crazy with the Saints supporters. The other thing that showed me is Marsh wanting to look after his teammate, even though he was within range himself, probably, just wanting to get the young guy into the game, and King, and very unselfish, and that's a good sign of things to come for the Saints. Ready to go again. Back in the middle, Marshall, first touch of the footy here, Steele. Little handball, Gresham.
Holding St Kilda.
So
just
against
took him down to
Cripps.
bring up
Steele immediately out wide, finds an opportunity with Ross. Ross is in his favoured left, sticks it into the pocket. Geary holding his man away from the footy. Did well.
And he's had a good start so far, Steele, on Cripps. Just been able to get off him a few times, and as a tagger, it's really important to be able to have some sort of offensive weapon to your game, so that the defender has to honour you.
Going to be great watching tonight, that duel. There is Joe right in the thick of the action. Williamson. So interesting with the holding the balls tonight. So we're going to be watching those closely, aren't we? This ball's coming straight back in. Here's Caulfield. Just sets it to about 25 metres. Membry was in the front spot there. Doherty taken down.
In the back, Carlton. Landed in his back.
So Doherty's free. So as Lingy told us, BT, Geary with the job on Doherty tonight, playing that defensive forward role.
Yeah, we saw the battle just a moment ago, Bruce. Lingy all over it. Gibbons out wide. Murphy, what are you expecting to see tonight, Lingy, between these sides? What sort of game do you think?
Well, I like what I've seen early from St Kilda. Even Jack Steele, when he got that free kick in the middle, fast movement, taking the game on. Intrigued to see the way that Carlton play it. They've been a little stagnant at times, but this is better.
Martin trying to spot up someone on the lead, and he has. And this is Levi Casbolt. So Mr. 75% thereabouts. He's kicked 8 straight this year, a few out of bounds on the full, which I include. The official stats don't, Joe, but I do. And let's have a look at it from here. The 2020 version is a much better kick than, say, the version from back in 2012. And he's pulled it after that build-up badly to the left and kicked it out of bounds on the full. So now, Bruce, that stat there doesn't go on his sheet. You can see he's dropped that one pretty high, and he knew straight away that he hadn't nailed that ball.
Fascinating stuff, isn't it? So, yeah. How does he respond from that tonight? So Clark gets some time out to Kent. So BT, he's gone through the process with Sav. He's got this good record going. And this is the first shot. Does it make a difference?
Oh, absolutely. His confidence is all about goal kicking. Make no mistake about that. But he knows he's done the work. He believes in what Sav Rocker has been teaching him, and he has become a better kick, Bruce.
So Marshall over the top of Pitane. Curnow got it back to centre field. Back inside that 50. Caulfield coughed it up, actually. Good hands by Gibbons. And is that the young fella, Philp, who's come into the team? It is, so second game of Philp. And a behind. So he's in for Fisher tonight, Sam Philp. So here's Wilkie.
Yep, goes out wide looking for Membry. Jones there to keep him honest. That's going to be a good battle as well, Membry and Jones. Down forward, Membry, the second or third forward now that King is down there.
Curnow's got the run-with job on Hanbury as well, so a few defensive roles going on tonight.
Marshall keeping Paddy Ryder out of the side at the moment. Why do you think Paddy, can he play another position in the team, Joe, or is he going to be out until Marshall doesn't perform?
Well, I think that they've really enjoyed Marshall's form, and it allows King to have the flexibility in the space down forward, which, as a young key forward, it's important to have that.
Hold it.
That space.
Go on, Marshall.
Moving. Comic on.
Oh, there, stay out,
Marshall.
Eddie, stay out. Prohibited contact, St Kilda against Jones here.
Okay, so down the field, this will come to the wing.
Loney.
And it'll be a free to Jack Loney.
Yep.
Just on the wing. It happened down the field. It's Players rushing forward to the footy now. Loney wanted Marshall, but went wider and found an opportunity here with Hanbury. Hanbury goes wide. Good kick, really good kick to the advantage of Marsh. Couldn't quite reel it in. There is Paddy Ryder, bottom left there. And I guess while Marshall's performing, King's performing, it's going to be hard for him to get his way back in, Bruce.
Yep, for sure. I mean, he's had such a huge career getting towards the end one way or another, so he'll have to work through that with the club. Rats will let him know where he's at. Cunningham going back. Good stuff to Plowman. Kick. Not really to the advantage of Kai. Gee, that is a good mark.
That was fantastic mark by Long.
Clear out.
Great courage.
Out. Where you are,
Not dissimilar to Bontempelli, Job, last week in some ways, was it?
That's right.
So Long with that 50-metre penalty, scrubbed the ball out wide to Membry. So they've sort of made a bit of a meal of this in the end. Quick hands back to Long, back to Wilkie, back to Hill, normally constructive. He's patting out wide and he gets it to Loney in the pocket. Lingy, I'm going to get down to you in a second. I know you had something to say a second ago, but Loney from about 45 metres caresses the ball, going ordinarily through. Yes, now it goes through. Battle.
Leave it. No, leave it.
Be careful.
Thank you.
Yes.
Don't go high.
Yeah, we're having a look.
Don't go high.
Come in, boys. Come in.
Not happy if I'm David Teague right now after that one.
Don't go high.
I'll take it.
Gee, Job, you see some funny goals kicked, but that was that's up there.
It was actually a really clever kick coming in. He misdirected and got everyone to move away from the goal square and then centred it back there. We just had a look at this, and the ball is just that movement that Rats talked about in pre-game, and it wasn't pretty, but it was constantly moving, which meant that the Carlton defence had to constantly adjust. And again, it was a really clever kick. He shaped as if he was going Moore's corridor and then pulled it towards the goal square right at the end, and a little bit fortunate, but sometimes you've got to take that, BT.
Yep, absolutely you do. And David Teague just wondering there, one right on the line. So 2 straight here for the Saints, 11-point leaders. Marshall did well. Little flick back was clever by Steele. Comes back in his direction now. So the Saints in the midfield doing pretty damn good in there at the moment, dominating. Little one to the ground. Loney was past the front and centre, picked up by King. King slams it on the boot. Memory's got a bit of a jump here. Did well Jones to hold the body position. Now Walsh is under pressure. All he can do to clear the kick. Butler was good with the pressure. Martin missed it. Now they're under pressure here, the Blues. Williamson went and got it. He was tackled.
Straight up, guys.
And that philosophy of movement, BT, you just see then it's the ability of the Saints players to just move the ball on quickly. It gives them an opportunity to have a one-on-one in their forward 50.
So Martin wrapped up.
Thanks, guys.
And the Saints forwards have managed to isolate really well, Joe, with that movement. No times have we seen both King and Membry jumping for the same footy. So they've done a good job with that quick movement to make sure that the Carlton defenders haven't been able to help each other.
Chicuno did well there, Lingy on Clark, because Clark looked away and he stripped him with the ball. Good hands, though, back to Clark, wobbling it. Caulfield stretches it wide. Wilkie, natural left footer. Loney, a lefty. Now, can he get? Yes, he does. To Kent.
What about Wilkie, Bruce? 8 touches, 100% kicking efficiency. Wilkie so far to start this game.
Okay, impressive.
15 gone.
Hasn't missed a game since he came in, so he's got a pretty good leg, this fella. Kent, so he's going to go the short way and finds the target.
There.
So battle. With 7.5 minutes remaining in the quarter. This for a fast start for the Saints. Looking for 3 in a row. He misses to the right. It's been impressive. I watched the tape today of last week, and he was pretty impressive last week as well, Josh Battle. So the inside 50s, the Saints with the last 4.
Hold there, Jack.
Blues just need a bit of possession footy here to get a feel of it and to work themselves into the game.
Play on!
Martin from deep in defence, looking to get it out wide to the wing. No winner in the air, off hands it comes. There he is again, Wilkie. 9 touches, 100% efficiency in disposal, both by hand and foot. Now Kent, left foot around the corner. That's a beautiful ball to the equally well tattooed Membry. And Membry on the lead, and here comes Geary. And that is just superb 2020 football from the Saints.
And Carlton's backline is finding it hard to organise right now. Sam Doherty's been caught on the bench for a long time. Carlton officials yelling and screaming, trying to get someone off. And without Doherty there, the Carlton defenders just all a little bit disorganised.
5 marks inside 50 already for the Saints. Just 1 for the Blues. There is Geary, gettable range, just inside the 45, he's got it. That was always going to come back a little the other way. It's the fast-starting Saints, 3-1-19. So just lovely to watch, the linking up through the middle, and Kent instrumental in that. Geary getting on the end of it and providing a really good lead, and then let go with a ripping kick as well. Ultra impressive, the Saints, and just reverberating in my mind at the moment the words of Brett Ratton before the game. We have to keep moving, otherwise we'll suffocate. And that's exactly what we've got.
We have a look here, just behind the shot, and as the Saints are able to move the ball, they're changing the angle and the direction in which the ball comes, which means that they're kicking into space. And even though there's a little delay here, Geary still has a lot of room to move into, and he'd like nothing more than playing a defensive forward role. And even though Sam Doherty's sitting on the bench, he kicks a goal, which Lingy, you know very well, it's something you love to do as a defensive stopper.
Absolutely, Joe. Any chance you get, make sure you nail one.
And he's not a big goal kicker, Geary, we know that, but that's a real bonus. So he started well, Hanbury started well, they're winning all the clearances at the moment. So Petrevski did well to Simpson, normally careful with the ball, but he's coughed that up.
Thank you,
Caulfield,
Sam.
Again, getting high numbers, some of these St.Kilda players.
You, mate.
Neat looking kick to full forward. Marsh on the end of it. 3rd man up, eh? So 6 marks, Job, in the forward 50 already for St.Kilda tonight.
And you look, when you turn the ball over in the middle of the ground, it's always a dangerous position, and it was set up on a King, I think, but it just fell over the top, and the movement of the St. Kilda forward line means that there are always going to be opportunities in space.
So 45 metres out. End of this. So St. Kilda dominating at the moment. Haven't seen much of Cripps. Doherty, no run-off half-back, so little wins and big wins for St. Kilda so far.
At the moment, wouldn't want to get too much more ahead here, the Saints. Handball came on that occasion. The Blues, Casbolt gives it off here to Nunes. Nunes goes inside 50, almost a mark, not paid to well. Picked up by Betts, round the corner, Betts kicks the goal. And the Blues bite back straight away.
Sure. Hey, good talk there, man.
Their first real flowing movement of the footy from half-back forward. And Eddie Betts, the man to get on the end of it, made that difficult goal look easy. So important goal there for the Blues to stay in touch. And what a big miss the Jonathan Marsh directly in front shot is now.
We just have a look at the half-back line here, and it's the ability of the Blues midfield and half-back line to share the ball. Everyone gets a touch and kicks into an empty forward line, a one-on-one contest, and then Eddie Betts, beautiful crumb, and his ability to finish on the turn. And sometimes everyone just needs a touch of the ball to get their confidence up and gets everyone involved in the game.
Makes a difference, Joe. So 5 goals this season, 4 of them for Eddie have come in the opening term. So he's been able to hit the scoreboard early in matches, and that is absolutely what the Blues needed. So they get themselves on the scoreboard in a meaningful way.
Carlton. Cripps.
Patrick Cripps.
So this is the first real blow that Cripps might strike. The Blues have been manhandled in that centre square, centre field. So that's an uncontested mark, 50 from home.
There, guys. Pat! No, you brought him in.
Had lots of injuries, highly regarded.
15 gone.
Taken at number 5 in the 2016 draft. So he struck it well now. Has he got the journey? Not quite.
Thank you.
And the stoppage right on the goal line.
Thanks.
Almost like the opposite of last week, wasn't it, against Essendon at the final?
Marshall in front. Oh, boy. Almost through on that occasion was Mackay.
High.
Look at the replay.
Yeah.
Just because he makes a noise, it's not high. Just because he makes a noise, it's not high.
Steele. So the Saints has Wilkie again, who's just knocked up getting the footy. That's his 11th disposal already. Gibbons been very impressive for the Blues. And Long, I just liked his attack on the footy. We saw it earlier in the game when he took that magnificent mark. He's become very strong at the football now, Long, and he looks good. Gee, this is going to end! Could have ended really bad. Simpson and Hanbury. Little knock here to Ross. Squirted out the handball to Marsh. Bowled over. On his backside was Patton. Little handball. Marsh again. Got it further afield. They're out. Now Hanbury. Left footer. Goes very wide. Looking forward. Finding Marshall. So this is good movement here from the Saints. Does he go 1-on-1 deep and quick? Marshall. He does now. High footy, little slow. Membry getting back. Geary at the back. Loney in the front. Put his head over at Membry. Carlton almost a throw. Martin centre field. Neat little kick out. And here they go, Bruce.
And Doherty took a good mark, didn't he? Got it to Williamson.
Play on.
So Simpson. And then Gibbons on the left. Very wide. Mackay had to wait for it. All bets from the pocket. No. I had a feeling for a moment.
He's going well, they'll get in a second.
Oh, had a flashback to Jordan Lewis and Harborough as that was two players were converging there.
He hasn't lost any of his ticket, Joe, Hanbury, has he?
High footy, Long again. Great little tap. Butler looking for the give and go. Got it back off Billings. Butler at full stride. Good kick to the advantage there. Gee, that was a great kick to Geary over the top. Loney out the back. Little left footer into space. And here we go again with Kent. No one in the goal square. King wanting it long. Look at him. Or is that Marshall? It's the ladder. Just goes sideways and slow she goes, Loney. Plays on, coming in low and hard. Good-looking ball over the head of Steele and Membry at the back. Bit of a party trick over the top. Kept it alive. So did Kent. Now Marsh around back to Kent. Good tack on that occasion from Williamson. Well done. Picked up by the big fella. And holding the ball by Jones.
No prior in the previous one. Made an attempt. Tim.
So
2 metres, please.
Before this weekend's football, the AFL gave everyone a note and told the players that you'll be penalised for deliberately absorbing tackles without trying to dispose of the football. And probably that almost falls under that category, doesn't it?
Yeah, I thought it was a bit stiff to be paid.
So Membry with the left foot, with the right foot banana. And he comes very difficult, got it too much to the near side. Didn't give it enough air.
What's really evident is the space in the forward line that St Kilda have, because the ball movement is so quick further up the field. It's giving their forwards great opportunities to play one-on-one.
Back to the 9, Jaron! Back to the 9! Back to the 9!
So how can Doherty impose himself? He's had some touches the last few minutes. Geary, of course, getting the goal when he was on the bench. Geary playing the defensive role on Doherty. Marshall, so impressive. Kicks on that. Geary, that is a great one-on-one mark.
Nothing silly. Saints got the ball. Nothing silly. Clear the area. Clear the area.
Hey, BT, when's the last time Geary kicked 2 goals in a match?
Very good question, Bruce. You have to go to the history books.
Right.
I'm sure we'll have the answer shortly, but this could be something. I mean, when when Rats put him there, Joe, but I don't reckon he thought he'd have 2 to his name at quarter time. Let's see if he does. Yes, yes, you betcha.
Oh, boy. 2016 round 17, Bruce. 2016 round 17 was the last time.
I've written it down, BT. I'm going to own it from now on. Thank you.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful stuff from Geary.
And it's a quick ball entry, which means that these St Kilda forwards have got one-on-one opportunities. They've taken 9 marks in their forward 50 because the ball movement is allowing them to have these one-on-one contests. And Lingy, I remember a few times when you used to kick goals on me and you'd be smiling like a Cheshire cat and I'd be looking at the ground, didn't want to make eye contact with you, mate.
Always the best part about it. You're right, Joe. But what a result the Saints are getting from their 2 matchups at the moment. Jaron Geary with the 2 goals. Jack Steele's had 9 disposals with 2 clearances. Paddy Cripps has only had the 3 touches. So both the key matchups for the Saints are well and truly going their way at the moment.
Thanks, Lingy. Just a couple of seconds left, so there'll be no further score here. Brett Rosebery, perfect bounce in the middle. Marshall, quarter time, thrilling. Saints fans, hold on to your seat. Could be a good night for you. Blues, we know they've got it within them to get back into this one. At quarter time, the Saints by 20 points, 4-3-27, and the Blues 1-1-7.
Coming to me now, Hannah's incredibly courageous act on Cade Simpson in that first quarter. You all okay from it?
Yeah, no, not too bad, mate. It's just Jakey Carl sitting up there, a beauty. But no, it was a good start for the boys.
And Brett Ratton, the message at quarter time, he must have been pleased with that ball movement.
Yeah, he was. There's a couple of sort of slight things we need to tie up defensively, but all in all, it was a good start. We just need to make sure we keep that effort up for this next 30.
And getting a great result with Jaron Geary up forward, doing the job on Doherty and kicking a couple.
Always a bonus, you can kick a couple of goals, but the main thing is he's keeping him quiet, so he's good, been a good contributor to the early gears, which is good.
Really appreciate your time. Thanks, Hannes.
Good on you, Lingy. So, Job, if you're Patrick Cripps, what's the first thing you do in the first minute of this quarter? You've been in that position before, tagged, haven't had much of it in the first quarter. How do you respond here?
Well, I set it up that I'm the hit-2 target, and I back myself in, and I show some physicality from the opening bounce, and I put it on the responsibility to get my team back into it. I take that responsibility, and I think that he's been beaten in the first quarter, but we know the kind of player that he is, and he's going to be able to bounce back, and I think that he will fight and have a really strong rest of the game.
Well, their fate depends so much, I think, on his ability to win those balls in the centre circle. So we're about to find out. Exciting stuff, isn't it, to see teams on the rise. The last 11 times these two teams have played, at least one of them has been below 13th on the ladder. So got 2 teams in form here we haven't seen much of. They've gone sort of from the fringe to the festival tonight. We're enjoying it on a Thursday night, but it's the Saints on top. There is Cripps. Can he get clean possession? He still did well there, didn't he? Just worked him away. Geary, the star of that opening quarter with a couple of goals. Only the second time he's ever had multiple goals. And now Gresham on the end of it. Gets inside 50. Goes right to the top of the goal square. Bouncing through for a goal. Do you know what? Jack Steele, well done. Just his ability to move Patrick off the ball there.
Not an easy thing to do at all, Bruce. He's a mountain of a man, Patrick Cripps. And just being able to outbody him, put him in an uncomfortable position, and then play on the ball.
Good player, Gresham. First time he's hit the scoreboard this year.
You called it there. Just he worried Cripps out of the ball there, Steele, and then Jared Geary again being able to be influenced as a forward. They'll be really happy again with this fast start, this St Kilda side.
Very deliberate action there from Gresham. He held his kick momentarily and just straightened a little more, and the fans are wrapped as well. So St Kilda early in the second, 26-point leaders. Let's see if it's coming to the direction of Cripps once again. If Pitney can get his hand to the ball against Marshall, no hope. Marshall elevating very, very high indeed, dominating inside there at the moment. This one ain't coming out of there. Was battling hard with Steele.
Just noticed with Paddy Cripps at the moment, and a little bit last week against Kyle Langford, he's standing and wrestling. I know he's big and he's strong and he likes to use his strength, but I want to see him on the move. As a tagger, always hated when big-bodied players got on the move because they were impossible to get around. Just want to see him get going a little bit, subtle movement around the contest to get himself into this one.
Excellent point, Lingy. On the move is the advice for Cripps next. Membry. Centre wing, high footy, tacking 50. I tell you what, King here had that one. He's just, once he gets his confidence overhead, away he's going to go. Williamson just stumbles over his own feet. Trip paid, said the umpire, the advantage, and Murphy is away. That's a good-looking kick back inside to Jones.
Still me.
Immediately looking for Martin, knocked away from him by Caulfield. Picked up by, on that occasion, Hill. St Kilda into attack. King has marked again. And he looks good when the ball's at the highest point.
Put the mark, walk away.
It's a dangerous place to switch the ball, especially to a 50-50. And even just this kick, it probably sat on his head a little bit, but King's ability to stretch up his size just meant that it was out of reach for Wiedering to spoil.
Butler it was, the kicker. Put it to the advantage of King. He comes in and King gets his second goal as well. Carlton coach David Teague wondering at the moment what is next. What do we do now? I'm sure he's asking that question of the box here. How they go about it from here. But 3 in a row. The Saints' first 2 of this second quarter. And it's a massive 32-point lead. King's got 2, Geary's got 2. And the Saints can do no wrong here at the moment.
So St Kilda averaged 10 marks inside 50 this year, Joe. They've had 10 already in this match. They're already at their match average. So the Saints, just repeating that, Joe, 10 inside 50 marks so far in this match. That's what they average this year for the whole game.
Yeah, and they're getting great opportunities, great looks one-on-one, which really helps the efficiency of being able to take marks inside 50.
Well, King's 202 centimetres and Wiedering's 196. That was such a great example. Wiedering's a quality defender. That mark from the front was awesome, I felt. So Curnow, Blues have to respond. Setterfield got it from Murphy. So a couple of touches to Murphy in this turn. Mackay, that was clever, but he goes to ground. Little handball okay. Gets to Noons. And then Noons against the old boys, to Cunningham. Noons, 123 consecutive games as a Saint, which is, no one's ever played any more consecutively as a St Kilda player.
Right here.
Here he finds himself in the opposition. But it's Cunningham now with a shot on goal. Career high stats for him last week. Lots of injuries. They've been patient. He's had to be patient. They need a goal. Across the face. Marshall made a good contest.
Multiple hands.
That's the slider pocket, Bruce. Always left to right from that pocket, Joe. I don't know why. Did you ever notice that in the
I didn't
12, 15 odd years you played?
I think there's a breeze that comes through a tunnel, BT.
Well, why don't you start aiming effectively then? Not just you, but the football world. In there fighting hard is Ross. Comes out with the ball. On that occasion did Clark, and they get the behind.
Boys, thanks.
So this is a massive start.
Thanks,
here
Eddie. Back 2 more minutes.
For the Saints. They were out by 32, 31 at the moment. And here's Howard. High footy over the head of Battle.
You guys mentioned the fact that the Saints had taken 10 marks inside 50. Maybe a bit of credit goes to that man right there on the Saints bench, Jared Ruffett. He certainly knew how to get space in that Hawks forward line, and the way that he'd be teaching these young St Kilda forwards how to play, working together, but making sure they remain isolated to work one-on-one. It would be a wealth of knowledge.
Good stuff, Lingy. So Ross gets it from Hanbury. The 2 left-footers are having good nights. Plowman Has to go back to Simpson. They really are on the back foot, literally, aren't they, the Blues at the moment? They need something to happen. Centrefield's wild, handball. Curnow gobbled it up, doesn't get it far, only as far as Marshall. It's been so good. Patton gets it out wide. Here's Steele. We've talked about him a lot. Caulfield pushes forward. Hanbury on the up. Back to Ross. So Ross tries to buy a little bit of time and space. He does it well, BT, I think.
And not a bad-looking kick, Bruce. Gave Billings an opportunity to win the footy. His handball's a little loose to Butler. Free kick here.
St.Kilda. Butler.
So unnecessary there. They had the ball and they were away, and that free kick given away by Nunes there. Butler to Billings. Billings now goes inside 50, looking for Marsh. Spoilt well. Kent was the front and centre. The straightening ball is good as well. And battle mark. That is perfect team football.
Fantastic contest by the St Kilda forward here. Just gets the ball to ground. It's good courage from Cade Simpson, but read it beautifully, and then a fantastic centering kick. And one of the things that's really noticeable, BT, is that the Saints forward are all holding back, which means that there's a lot of space in the midfield, and they're getting really good opportunities and entries.
Battle to become the third two-goal kicker of the night. Misses pretty badly to the left-hand side. A little scary at the moment, the Saints. Just didn't give it enough energy there, Bruce.
No, they've been terrific. He's had 3 shots on goal, Battle. Big fly came from McGovern. Long to Howard, to Loney, to Butler. He's got Loney out wider. Butler juggling, and for once not great service. He got away with it. Caulfield. Good tackle by Simpson. Marsh. Clever kick, actually. A bouncing, chaotic ball. Dangerous for the Blues here. King tries to toe poke it. Martin to Walsh. Can Walsh get it clear? He does. Pin Murphy swings the handball wide. Puts Curnow under pressure.
He does indeed. No doubt about it. Casbolt was a good trap of the footy. Gibbons has got to go. But I tell you what, Clark just went a little bit earlier and perhaps a little bit harder. Now, as a result of all that, Loney spearing ball inside 50 for the Saints. Plowman gets on the end of it, gets it out of the way, but I think it might come back. Went over the top of it, did Casbolt. Walsh has got to go hard. Menry put his head over the footy and won the hard one as well. Hanbury was good.
St.Kilda.
And he'll win the free. So at the moment, the Saints are there first.
Stay out, Mark.
It's been good, Hanbury, hasn't he? Been really good, Hanbury. I was so pleased that he's moving like he is. King the target yet again. So Martin to Simpson. Simpson to Walsh. And Walsh down that line. Is that high? No. Clark's tackle was strong.
Thanks, Mark. Looked like you contributed from where I was.
That drop mark of King just here. Joe, when he gets his confidence, he is going to eat those. At the moment, he's not fully believing
Carlton, hold the arm.
He has the ability to take marks like that. But once he gets his confidence, boy, he's going to be something.
You wouldn't want to be a key defender over the next 10, 15 years lining up against the Twins.
No, that's right. Curnow, high footy, Jakey Carwile over the top, able to get a fist on it. Little one out the back door, Clark to Billings. Billings got to be good around the corner. Kent was there, knocked off. Here goes Walsh, starting to come into the game. Curnow, good ball inside 50. McGovern couldn't quite trap it off his shoelaces. Wonderful pickup it was in the end from Battle. Now the Saints go forward again. Here's Marsh. Can he pick up the clean ball? Wearing him down, but didn't get him Nunes. Fishes off the handball to Wilkie. Wilkie to Kent, straight through his hands. I saw him drop one of those almost in the same spot last week as well. Couldn't mark it. Play on. Petrevsky-Seton got it to Curnow. That's almost deliberate towards the boundary, but fortunate for him, Nunes was able to keep it alive to Betts, and now back to Nunes.
Frantic stuff, BT, wasn't. So Nunes down the line. Phil, he's the late inclusion for Fisher. It's his second game played last week. Did well, young Phil. Got a little smother on it. Off long, so Nunes barrels it back to McGovern. Has to get on the move. Does get on the move. Centering ball to Martin. Martin wider to Plowman. Plowman wider. Doherty can kick a goal. 45 metres out.
And That's what they...
Better though, BT.
It
Better.
was, yeah. And it was that shift of the ball movement from one of the forward flank into the corridor that allowed that to go to space to Doherty.
Caulfield here with Walsh just able to run away from him. Too easy then. Sam missing that tackle that he'd normally make there. Over the top, Jones, Butler out the back door. Danger, 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 danger. Butler's going all the way. Danger, 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 danger. Butler, 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 Butler. What about that from the Saints? He is fast out the back door. So Butler makes it the third St Kilda goal in a row in this quarter. And they lead it by 37. Boy, are they exciting to watch, the Saints, at the moment.
Great call, BT. He sized it up so well.
Hey, boys, we're getting 15 here.
Dan Butler. Goodness me.
Well, Joe, the best thing about this is he's not an expensive butler, this fella, is he?
That's right. Sometimes you've got to pay 60 cents on the dollar, Bruce. And what's been so evident is because the St Kilda players are going to honour each other and they're going to share the ball, and they're always going to be, the ball's always going to be in movement, the midfielders can't fold back for Carlton, which means that the Saints have got great looks one-on-one in their forward line. And that's why they're so potent, and there's so much space in the St Kilda forward line. It's fantastic to watch.
Brilliant, isn't it? I mean, it's one-way traffic at the moment. BT, I want you to chase another thing for me.
What's that, Bruce?
Highest score by a team at half-time this year. We're up to 46 already, the Saints. I'm sure you'll find it for me. Hanbury trying to get through. Cripps, he hasn't been able to impose himself, Joe, has he?
No, Steele's done a fantastic job defensively, and then offensively getting the ball too.
So Steele winning another battle there to Carlisle. So the Blues just completely overwhelmed here at the moment, aren't they?
They are, Bruce. By the way, Richmond round one, 69 points, Bruce. There you go. Against Carlton.
Against the Blues. So that we're going back a long way, BT. Not in terms of rounds, but in terms of time. So the Long to Clark. Hanbury back to Long. Long switches it.
He does indeed, with a beautifully weighted kick, and they love it in the hands of this man here. No doubt about it. Hill couldn't really penetrate with the footy on that occasion. Just went wide, found Marshall. Now the overlap run is impressive here. Payton getting knocked off the footy there a little late by Cripps, and it'll be a down the field free kick. I think it's Membry's ball. It is indeed. Just goes sideways. Wasn't expecting the footy then, Patton. And now onto it. So this is a rare slow movement inside their 50. Patton throws it up into the air, and Plowman with the uncontested mark.
Just some relief for them to Jones. A couple of their key defenders there. Wittering's been in such great form. Sorry, Liggy.
Sorry, Bruce. Cripps has been thrown forward just to try something different for Carlton. Break the tag of Steele.
Thanks, Cam. So Casbolt, that's a full kick. Patton just in the right place. So Steele's having a picnic, isn't he? Not only has he stopped the champion, he's collecting so much himself to Hill. And then Hill goes short.
Push out, thank you.
Loney kicks it like Suckling used to kick it, I reckon.
Move it on, play on.
Just caresses that one, but a little too cute at the end, and Jones cuts it off. So the Saints' highest score to halftime is 50 against the Tigers. We've had 3 teams kick 60 plus this year, including Richmond in that first round. But it is great to see goals being kicked in the opening half of a match.
It is indeed. Martin, we'd just like to see a few Blues goals now, just to tighten this up a little bit. Martin's kick out wide, and Cripps has got the free against Clark here. So can they make something out of this? Cripps goes high, very, very high. Mackay was there, interrupted his run. That's a free. That'll be a Mackay free. Advantage paid out the back door, and away they go. And they kick the goal through Philp. So Philp gets the congratulations of his teammates. First goal in his career. and it was an easy one with a play on advantage after Mackay would have had a set shot at goal, basically directly in front for interference. Phil kicks his first goal in AFL football.
He's going to dine out on that one, I reckon, BT.
Yep.
You could really build that one up. And someone said, now, Dad, how did you kick your first goal in the AFL? Well, here's how it happened for him. So
holding Carlton.
Going to settle him down, isn't it? Because he had a quiet night against the Bombers last week. He was left out of tonight's team, gets a second chance. So what a great result for the kiddo.
And great to see Noons encouraging him, even though he should have probably handballed to him. He said, no, I don't need it. You need it. You're a young guy. Keep coming.
Yeah, it will do his confidence a world of good. And nice to see Patrick Cripps get involved. He's such a dangerous player, we know, in the midfield, and his ability to go forward and add something will be important for this Carlton side.
Just his first disposal this quarter, Job. So suddenly got involved and something happened. Mackay a target forward. Pitane gets the ball down to Cunningham. Back towards Setterfield. Well done, Marsh. He just worried him out of it, didn't it? Simpson has to backtrack. Geary's so...
back, Carlton.
Been so good, Geary.
Play on.
So Simpson squaring it. Petrevsky so often a playmaker, but tonight very much in the defensive mode. And now Plowman forced to go. You can see they're trying here, Brian, to get things moving, aren't they?
They are indeed. Setterfield does just that. Now, do they keep going here? They really, really need to. As you say, Cripps starting to come into the game a little. He still only had 4 touches, a fumble, a mess up. Butler on the end of it to Billings. Billings out the back door. Here's Loney. 3 of their best. Smalls, the little kick, and finds Membry on the lead. Does he reel and go? Is there something worthwhile? There was no king in the goal square, so he holds it back. Tim Membry.
1 more metre, Tim.
Just as Carlton look to be imposing themselves a little on the game. By the way, Cripps, just 4 touches. He hasn't had a game this year where he hasn't had 20 or better.
Straight to me. Footy boys. One away here.
5-2 from set shots this year for Tim Membry, so that's a pretty good result. This is one of the tougher ones, though. A 50-metre kick from close to the boundary line. Doesn't go for it in the end. Kent was there, the target. Simpson dropped the ball. Little one, Setterfield goes out wide. Now Martin's mark. Here they go, Bruce, as they roll up through the middle.
And Noons just barreled it. So that's a disappointing result, but we get their game plan, don't they? They're trying to move the ball as quickly as possible here. Wilkie, so good in that opening term, Wilkie. So 27 consecutive matches he's played, Wilkie. Came from Walkerville in South Australia, North Adelaide. Caulfield, high draft pick, taken in the same draft as Clark. He was taken at 8. Clark taken at 7. And that kick to half forward down the line. Pitane helped by Wiedering there, but he just couldn't clamp it.
And you just see a couple of instances from the Carlton side where they've tried to go really quickly, but they've panicked a little bit, and that's forced upon you when your opposition is going quickly, but they're hitting the scoreboard. All of a sudden, you're trying to emulate it, and it's not working for them.
Gibbons, ball at the back, taken away by Hill. Long and direct kick on the head of Geary, and Jones, third man up in the contest. Well held. I think it was either Plowman or Simpson that held Geary down, allowing Jones the aerial supremacy. Short little ball to Wiedering. Just under 2 minutes remaining in the half here. Beautiful low trajectory ball to Walsh from Wiedering. Walsh goes inside and finds an opportunity here with Phil.
Thank you, Ben.
After that goal a moment ago, so Phil at half-back, just half a kick down the line. Good mark, Mackay.
2 metres back. 1 more metre back, please. 1 more metre.
Leading goal kicker last year. Hasn't had a lot of footy this season. Big talent, we know that. Just getting that body set for the rigours of AFL. And there is Cripps. Now, Lingy talked about the fact they shoved him forward, and there's a first really big result out of that. He hasn't got a long leg, we know that. And they're good hands by Martin, aren't they? Good hands. He can go from here.
One of the things that Paddy Cripps is, you know, when you're 6'3", 6'4", you can go in and take contested marks like this, which just offers another string to the bow and makes him such a difficult player to keep out of games.
Just thinking, BT, they were 42 points behind Melbourne Carlton in the second term. Got back into that match in round 2. Now, they will believe in themselves. This is a big kick. This is a big kick for Martin. Is it going to come back? It's not. It's not. But they will believe in themselves. They've been here before.
Yep, they did
3 matches ago.
Did it superbly against Melbourne, Bruce. They completely outplayed them in the last 3 quarters of that game.
Blood rule, St.Kilda.
So this is a blood rule.
Coming from everywhere.
Patton will just hold off and he will have to go off the ground. And that is free-flowing blood. By the way, Wilkie for St Kilda, 14 touches, leads all possession getters in this game so far. Been magnificent, 89% kicking effective. Wilkie as well.
And they've doubled the Carlton team's inside 50, so they're really putting pressure on the defensive backline of this Carlton side, and one of the improvements to St Kilda has been their goal-kicking efficiency and their efficiency in the attack. And when there's so much space up forward, that's how you can get it.
Telstra tracker, have a look at young Walsh there doing the job on his birthday. Turning and clicking over the kilometres there. Only a few seconds left in this. You think Carlton the only ones that can score from here. It's Wiedering's kick inside 50, getting back. Caulfield takes the mark and realising there's just a few seconds left in the game. So we've had a 3-goal to 1 quarter in favour of the Saints as Membry marks. Marsh just hurting himself there towards the end of that quarter, but I think Bruce is right. The Blues will go into the room, feel confident they can turn this around in the second half.
So at half-time, it's a 5-goal lead to St Kilda. Doing very, very well. They've had control. Welcome back. Nearly ready for a start. The texts are coming through thick and fast. All your St Kilda mates are nice and happy. The Foxes are very happy with you, Rui, at the moment.
Just a half, Ed. Just a half. Carlton got to get their hands on the footy, though. They've got to get...
Treasurer Josh Frydenberg not so happy, a bit like his surplus. It looked good in theory, but it's not eventuating the way he would have liked it at the moment.
Cripps out of the square.
Hang in there, Josh. Hang in there, Josh. Here we go.
He did that against Melbourne. Cripps went forward at half-time against Melbourne, and the rest swung into action, and they almost pulled it off.
All right, let's see if Carlton can come back again. It's 5 goals. They can turn it around, but they need to get the first couple. Here we go.
You do pick up on those things as we start the second half. It's been an entertaining game. It's been a bit one-way traffic. Let's see if Carlton can respond. Still such a part of that first half. And so was Hanbury. Gee, Billings attacked it hard. He came from nowhere. Curnow to Williamson, who had one very poor moment in that opening half when Carlton was starting to get going and he slipped it half back.
And one of the changes already, Bruce, is Doherty started on the wing, and I think he'll look to try and push to that half-back line to try and generate some ball movement through the Carlton side.
And if St Kilda are smart with that, Joe, you can see Josh Battle's the one on the wing for the Saints. The Saints have got to go through Battle as often as they can through the middle of the ground to try and catch Doherty out.
Still handball, putting Clark under pressure.
Carlton.
So free kick going the way of the Blues. So they need a fast, clean start here, the Blues, to get their teammates excited around them. Here's Plowman saying, come on, come on, come up, come up. And Cunningham does that. But I tell you what, the defensive transition of the Saints tonight has also been excellent. A bit of a prayer here, hope ball, and good mark taken by Pitternet. So Pitternet marks well within range, 25, 30 metres out. A good ball in the end.
So BT never kicked a goal, Pitternet.
Then go on.
No, another one of
how many shots he's had.
One of the potential first goal kickers in their career. He's played in the 11 games and got to remain with that donut next to his name, Joe.
Been in the system since 2014, so he's been around for a while, but ruckmen do take a while to develop.
So Mackay back to McGovern, and then McGovern, who won that free kick earlier in that transition, wobbles it forward. Howard sweeps it to Battle. Been impressive, Battle. He's a swing man, isn't he? He can play in lots of spots. Here's Loney, part of that sort of mosquito fleet that we think about from St Kilda. Doesn't really get that one, and Simpson gets crouched.
Squeeze up, just squeeze a bit.
Yeah. Mark, Rowan. Keep your meter, Mark.
Geary's had an impact, hasn't he?
It's interesting. He's on Simpson at the moment. You just wonder whether or not he goes to Doherty if he starts to get some involvement on the wing.
Cunningham sharked it beautifully. Nicely presented ball to Cripps. Tried to turn. Did he push him in the back? Yes, he did. Cripps wanted the ball. Will that be 50? No.
Come back on.
So plenty of space to the left pocket there. No one leads into that space. And now Cripps, as a result, will set sail for home. Or is he just tricking us and going to put it to the top of the square? I think he's got a pretty good leg, Job. So they are in desperate need of one of these to sail through. He gets plenty of momentum, gets around the man on the mark.
Reset.
And an illegal shot.
Yeah, but he blocked him illegally on the mark, so we have to reset it.
By Jack
Can't do that.
Can't do that, said the umpire. Agree with that, Joe? Have a look at it.
Yeah, I don't think you can do that. It certainly answered the question whether he thought he had the leg for the shot on goal, BT.
Not only that, Cripp had to get around another one. Now he goes short to Jack Martin, and Martin marks directly in front. So just a lapse in concentration there for the Saints.
I wonder whether the two of them pre-planned it.
Your line, Jack.
Jack could find some space off the back of it.
So here is Jack Martin.
15 gone.
Bit of a hush in the crowd. Round one, he kicked 4 goals in the third quarter. Remember that? Remember that? Remember that? Well, here's the first of them. And just a little smile there from Jack Martin. He's pretty happy. And is that going to start and generate some enthusiasm amongst the Blues to get them going here early in the third?
It's been pretty good, actually, Martin, I reckon. Missed a shot earlier, could have had a couple. And Cripps, even though Cripps is not having a lot of... just his presence on the forward line, suddenly things have changed.
You see Jack Martin kicks the goal, but Lingy, I'm just wondering, as a defensive player, would you send Steele to go with Cripps everywhere now that he's starting to get some influence at the forward?
Oh, no, I'd be hesitant to do that. I think Steele's better suited in the middle of the ground, has been finding he's up to 15 disposals himself, so I'd still back him in the midfield, and then you trust your defenders, Wilkie in this case, to do the job on Cripps and make sure he's locked away and can't influence as a forward. I think Steele's better suited around the middle of the ground.
Look at those numbers on the right, Lingy, and you see those inside 50s. This game is tightening up. Next goal, crucial for the Blues. They've got the first after half-time.
Incorrect disposal advantage.
So Gresham takes advantage. Murphy's had a quiet one. Gresham's kick is a good one. And Geary's done it again. Now, he's never kicked 3, BT.
No. Well, this is remarkable. Wow.
This is Shane Ellen in that grand final. Blighty pulling a rabbit out of the hat.
At the moment, it's just a 23-point margin. I mean, so close, the Blues. If he cracks this, what does it do to their enthusiasm and confidence, the Blues?
Well, he's never had a night like it. I don't reckon he's had 3 shots for goal before in his life. It's going okay. It's going okay. It didn't quite get there.
There's a bit of a tumbler off the boot.
You might tell the coaching staff you've been playing in the wrong position for 12 years.
It might be a bit late, Joe.
191 games down the other end. Goodness me.
Never too late to add another string to the bow.
He has kicked 28 career goals. No, that's right, Joe.
I tell you one thing you can do, BT, take a mark forward 50, can't he?
Absolutely. He's got on the end of a couple tonight. Here's Simpson. Little handball from Murphy in amongst all of that. At the back was Clark. Wanted to go, does quickly, sends it back. Forward bound, Membry and Jones, and that might be some interference. And Jones will get a look at this. Looking at Cade Simpson there before. He's 330th tonight, Bruce, the 30th player to reach the 330, and only 20 have played 340. It's a little one around the corner, and here goes Butler again. It was beautifully done by King. Butler gets his second goal. Saints back out to a 30-point lead. Gee, that happened quickly.
Just an awful kick coming out the back half, BT. There's a difference between being brave and moving the ball and being foolhardy, and that was always a low percentage kick.
And it's just a switch kick, and fantastic awareness from King to be defensively minded and thinking how he can create turnovers even as a forward. That'll be highlighted during the week about creating turnovers in your forward half, and Butler is the recipient of that concentration on King's behalf.
Well, that was a tough,
King,
tough contest, Bruce, but I wonder whether Wiedering could have kept his feet there.
And BT, Wiedering's been beaten by King a couple of times one-on-one now, which is fascinating because for me, he's been one of the form defenders in the comp. He's found his match so far tonight, hasn't he? So that's a blow, pitting it out of the centre. Tumbling ball. Caulfield, a lot of the ball in the first half, been impressive. That's a good leg, gets the ball back. Cut off though by Petrevski-Seton, comes wide. Doherty, how can Doherty impose himself in this game? Carlton need to make a move. A third quarter move. So Doherty and Murphy, Job, a couple of blokes that really need to lift, don't they?
Well, and they've tried to bring him up the field, Doherty, and they need to engineer a way to get his the ball in his hands so that they can get some metres gained and some speed on the game.
Here's Cripps, good hands out to Phil, kicks to the top of the goal square. Carlisle at the back, McGovern down to centre field. Centre field wobbles at home. The Blues are coming a little, aren't they? I'm going to bang on about this, Joe, but Cripps is making a difference.
And it's great to see that he's making a difference by not being in the centre bounce at every stoppage. He's actually influencing the game in another part of the ground.
Absolutely. So just his ability to just bring other players into the game now, even if he doesn't take clean possession.
We touched on it, Bruce. It's Cripps' involvement, and even as a forward, he's able to bring other people into the game, and it's centre field a shot on goal, which he converts. But his importance to this Carlton side, because he is so creative, whether he's in the centre of the ground or up forward, it means it results in goals. And he's moved himself back into this centre bounce. Carlton feel like they're getting back into this game. Important couple of minutes coming up.
Good contest there from Mitch McGovern as well to bring that ball to the ground. And here is Setterfield again, and the man Bruce just spoke of, Cripps, gets the exit out of the midfield. Long ball came from Williamson.
No.
And it'll go back.
Free back in the middle.
Won't be down the ground. It'll be Cripps getting the free here.
Hey, BT, good time to throw him into the centre because he's feeling good about himself, isn't he?
Absolutely, he has got rid of it. A little unlucky Butler there. So now Cripps, a deliberate high ball. That is as high as you get. Up they fly. Casbolt was there. Curnow almost off the toes. Did well. Little handball out the back door from Wilkie. Was always under pressure on that occasion. Was long. Snap at goal. Misses the whole lot. And Levi Casbolt there. So 9.5 minutes. They're pressing. It's a 24-point margin here in favour of the Seats. By no means insurmountable here for the Blues.
No, Carlton have certainly made a response. Caulfield's defensive long ball out. Big fly came from Casbolt.
No, teammate had first grab.
BT, no impact, Casbolt. We talked about that early shot missed. No impact, has he?
No, he needs to get hold of a few. There's a lot of improvement in a lot of players for the Blues, Bruce. That's the good part about what they can give.
Curnow held up by Billings.
Just a little concern down here on the St Kilda bench at the moment. Dan Hanbury's headed down the race. He's been speaking to the doctors on and off for most of this quarter, upset about something. I think Ben Patton as well, just getting checked out for a knock to the jaw or the cheekbone. So a couple of little concerns on the Saints bench there. Maybe it's the nose. Bit of blood dripping out.
We saw Pat with the blood earlier, didn't we, Lingy? But Hanbury, you think soft tissue immediately, don't you? His Setterfield's high ball back to about 50. Oh, that is a mark! Long way! That's a beauty!
Oh, that is a classic, Bruce. Long. What a superb mark that was. Mark of the year so far, I would think.
Play on.
Charlie Cameron sitting in Queensland and say, BT, didn't you see me last week?
I saw it, Charlie, but I just think that had a niche just above you. Have a look at this. A defensive mark. He got the lift and then the extended lift, Bruce. And he marked it on the chest at a very high point. That is just an awesome mark. The young fella, Ben Long, with an absolute screamer, Bruce. Here's the man trying to rip it apart. Couldn't get it on that occasion. Gresham to Billings.
Great to see a defender back himself in the air as well, like Long. He's playing in the half-back line, and he's willing to go up and...
Come on, Longy, smile. Smile.
You'd be a little bit happier.
Yeah, I'm going to have a good photo for the pool room.
He's smiling inside, BT.
Or the shed these days, perhaps. Little one at ground level. Gresham trying to find a hole through Ross there. Hard as a cat's head was Steele. He went in, Cripps had him in the tackle. No free. Curnow sends it deep in 550. Here's McGovern. Just misread it. Carlisle, little handball. Not great. Long under real pressure. Gee, they almost trapped it. Wonderful play, the Saints. They got out of trouble in the end. Membry the target. He goes down. They keep their feet, their Blues. Williamson got on the end of it. He's a left footer. He was run down here by Membry. Umpire let it go. Said the tackle didn't hold. It comes to Murphy. Does he have a go? Centering ball. Casbolt couldn't mark, Bruce. Couldn't mark.
Gee, exciting stuff though, wasn't it? Billings' little ball. Out wide to Kent, and he says, just let's catch our breath, guys.
And that is so... That is such good leadership. He knows the Blues are owning this 5 minutes, Bruce.
Yep. Still got a handy lead on that scoreboard. Plowman's fly. They're all trying it. Wiedering. So his colours lowered a bit tonight. Petrevski's seat just bangs it back to a contest. Well done.
It's in the back.
So against Long that time.
Unrealistic. Didn't touch the ball.
Gee, nothing's unrealistic with me. I just took mark of the year.
What are you talking about, umpire? I can jump on big, tall buildings.
So Phillips kicked the full forward. Murphy just overran it. Gee, Geary, that was so good by Martin. He crashed into Geary and won the ball. Gibbons gets it out. Centerfield kicks his. Yes, he does. Kicks his second. BT, they're coming.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. They are within 3 straight goals here, the Blues. They've kicked 3 goals to 1 in this quarter, Bruce, and you can feel it. You can just feel it.
Gee, Martin was so good there, wasn't he? He's playing a bit of a game, I reckon. He was so good in the tackling there. Like Cripps in the centre right now, Joe. Cripps in the centre right now is just where he should be.
We have a look at Carlton in this third quarter. 19-13 contested possession, 70% forward half, 5-2 in the clearances that have come out to play. It started with Patrick Cripps, but Jack Martin, a fantastic contest to create that Will Setterfield goal. They're coming, the Blues.
18 points. They have generated some electricity.
No, it stopped, guys.
Lingy, what about Hanbury? What do you think? We just saw a shot of him on the bench.
He's got the tracksuit on there, and you can see that wrap there. He's about to put some ice on, so he looks like he's done for the night. Callum Wilkie's also gone down the race for the Saints as well, getting checked out, so major concerns.
Gresham low, fast bullet inside 50 and out the back door, and Battle won't get that one, so that's disappointing. Does it look like the hamstring or the calf?
I think, and he's had obviously some soft tissue problems over the last 2 years. Really disappointing.
What did he miss? About 17 games last year, I think Bruce was.
Yeah, he did. He's moving so well, BT, tonight.
He was. Plowman just banged it out of the fence. Now that works for the Blues. They need to keep this run going. Gibbons got the footy. You feel the gaps are just starting to open up in this game. Can Carlton explore those gaps? Neat little ball, well disguised. Goes out wide to Setterfield.
Callum Wilkie's
game, Setterfield.
Sorry, Bruce. Callum Wilkie's come back up onto the bench. He looks like he's going to be all right to go. And as you guys saw, Dan Hanbury icing up. I think it's his hamstring is what he's put the ice on there. Hard to see behind all the trainers, but obviously Dan Hanbury now finished for the night.
Thanks, Lingy. So Walsh at centre wing. So long ball to half forward. Mackay, big fly. Cunningham tried to rove it. Clark couldn't quite. Gibbons on the left. Bubbling ball to full forward. McGovern versus Caulfield. Wrapped up, Caulfield. Wrapped up.
Oh. Thanks, Nick.
Stoppage. Deep in
Levi.
Carlton's forward line.
Ball up. Marshall took it out and kicked it to the boundary. Will that be a free kick? It was smothered off the boot, I reckon. That's probably what saved him. So that's disappointing. That looks like a very low hamstring, Joe, for Dan Hanbury.
Really disappointing. He's worked so hard to get back to be beset by another soft tissue injury.
Not good news. Casbolt just bullocks his way. Speaking of balls, have a look at this.
All yours. Carlton.
Got rid of 1 and 2, and he was just about to set himself free. He's been paid the high tackle here, and he's well within Cripps' range. I don't know, tonight what he's been going for, he's been kicking the ball deliberately higher than high, Joe, or is it just not coming off well? I'm not sure.
I wouldn't want to say it hasn't been coming off well, but what he has done is he's really lifted his intensity around the ball, and he's creating forward line opportunities.
Well, this is a monumental run-up. This to get it back to a 2-goal game. Patrick Cripps on the way. Got the journey. Just pulls it to the left a little. But he is coming more and more into the play as this game goes on.
It's been a great response by him, hasn't it? We thought about how does he respond in this match. Well, he's done it in the third term. So Caulfield, short. So just what sort of maturity? Sorry, Lingy, you go on, mate.
No, sorry, Bruce. I keep interrupting you. I've got to stop doing that. But Jack Steele's challenge now is he's got to reset himself to make sure that Cripps stops having this influence on the game, because Steele's done a brilliant job. He's got to reset himself.
McGovern to Betts to Doherty. Don't worry about interrupting me, Lingy. A lot more comes out of your mouth than mine, I tell you. There's McGovern.
Like a contest between him and Carlisle. Just two players going the ball. Hit him right down the middle.
That's a good hip and shoulder.
Yeah. Yep.
Nothing wrong with that.
I feel like Betts could be dangerous in this situation. Patton with him. So 4 crucial minutes here.
Carlton have had 7 of the last 8 inside 50s here, Bruce. They're mounting a campaign, and they're now starting to swarm.
The tide has completely changed. The time in forward half has turned Carlton's way, and you feel like these St Kilda defenders are under real pressure.
Don't hold.
Eddie Betts, the man to watch here in this stoppage situation, deep inside 50. Good deep throw in for the boundary umpire. Cunningham looked away, hadn't won the footy yet. Ed Kerno went and got it. Now, did he make an attempt? He could be penalised here. He could be. He is.
No genuine attempt.
You heard umpire Brett Roseberry. And the free kick goes the way of Ross.
Good call, BT. Doherty was in a position to get it off him, wasn't he? Strong mark by Pitternet.
Hold there.
So St Kilda having real problems moving the ball now, aren't they?
They can't win it, Bruce, at the moment.
No. Simpson. It's a good kick by Simpson. And now Williamson to Plowman to Petrevski's seat. The Blues moving the ball here. Oh, that's a bad kick. Just had too much on it. Still goes back. Clark on the end of it after Marsh. Or Ross it might have been. Caulfield wide. And now Kemp. Just need a steady of the Saints there. Got a little margin on the scoreboard, but Carlton are surging here. Marsh inside 50. They haven't had many of them, the Saints, in this term.
And the mark's taken by Battle. Battle turns, hits Billings on the lead. And this should relieve a little bit of pressure. And that man Williamson stuck about 3 metres on the mark. And the umpire wheeled him back. So this is a huge kick for the Saints to to stop the momentum that is Carlton bound at the moment. Billings, highly skilled player. A 45-degree angle, looks damn good. He has nailed the middle there, Billings. That is a real blow for the Blues. 23-point lead now for the Saints. 2 goals to 3 in the quarter favouring the Blues. And Billings with a very timely one after Carlton had really owned the footy in their half of the ground and done all the attacking.
Good finish here by Billings. Carlton have owned the quarter, but when you're coming from behind, you get forced to play perfect football, and very difficult to do that in a game of footy. And unfortunately for them, they've played excellent in this third quarter, but one slight mistake and St Kilda can hurt them, and it really hurts them on the scoreboard.
Well, they're 2 goals from 4 inside 50s this quarter. It can really hurt you, can't it?
Sure does, and that one did sting, didn't it? So Billings nailing goals this year. He's 5-0 from the set shots. Marsh. Curnow just hassled him out of it. Marsh's second effort was fantastic there. It's a good move of Marsh. Centrefield's had a quarter with a couple of goals. Carlton kicked the full forward. Push out.
Holding St Kilda.
Oh, gee, I thought they came.
Yeah.
So Howard wins an important free kick. Mackay came tumbling out, didn't he?
Yeah. He was unlucky, Bruce. I thought he was interfered with before the ball arrived.
Ross to Marshall. Gee, that is a good mark down the line by Marshall.
Good stretch from the big man.
Behind your mark. That's it there, Kate. Time back on.
So Marshall, 1:22 in the quarter remaining. The Saints looking to play it careful here, hugging the boundary line, knowing that the clock is ticking. And Jones, now can they get it and go here, the Blues? A minute just over to go in this third quarter. They must try and get this goal back. Jones strangely goes down the line. Offhand, Martin claiming the mark and ran over the boundary with it. Instead of getting on with it. Goodness gracious me.
St Kilda
tried to convince the umpire then, but that clearly came off the pack's hands right down in front of me.
Oh, it was right in front of you, Lingy. So boundary throw in, just under a minute, plenty of time. Doing the ruck work, Pitternet over the top, run past it, Cunningham. Centre field there, Cunningham comes in, applies the tackle on Gresham. Just got rid of it the nick of time. Gee, I thought he threw it, Ross. Gee, I reckon he threw it, Lingy. It was right in front of you. King gets the free.
Kilda.
And he decides not to play on, needs to be composed from a St Kilda point of view, and goes short to the boundary line to Billings.
So Billings, who got that crucial goal a couple of minutes ago, bangs it forward. Marsh was the target. Gee, Jones has taken a couple of good marks in this quarter. And that might be it for three-quarter time. So have they made enough progress? Probably not on the scoreboard. You're feeling the way they're playing, Carlton. They're still a chance. Everything would have to go right for them in the final term. Ross banging it back. This will make a difference.
St Kilda, both arms around.
This will make a difference.
Oh, boy.
Jack Nunes.
Oh,
that's a
boy. Gee.
Well, there's a bit of jumper pulling from the Saints, but there's a bit of both, isn't it?
They both had each other, Bruce.
Yeah. So Battle, he's had 3 shots on goal, 1 goal, 2 so far. Well,
the universe balanced itself out, doesn't it?
Oh, boy.
The butterfly fell, eh? Way over in Brazil. So 59-36, three-quarter time, good game of footy.
In way of planning the next quarter. It seems that all clubs are so used to the old timings, they just can't break out of into the new.
You just wonder whether it takes some of that momentum and that energy and the excitement that you build into the start of the next bounce by just standing here for 20-30 seconds not doing anything. But Patrick Cripps has started forward for this last quarter as well.
Point noted, BT. So we look at Hanbury there. St.Kilda just have won one final term this year. That was last week. They won every quarter against the Tigers. So there is Cripps. He had an impact, a real effect on that third quarter. Carlton need the first goal. That's obvious. That Billings goal hurt them late in the match. Pitternet and Marshall. Marshall, an impressive youngster, got over the top to Gresham. Held up a little. Ross on the wrong side for him, but bubbles the ball forward. Geary has been so effective tonight, and that one, well, I reckon he's got a taste for it, boys, don't you?
Well, why not after the performance thus far?
So he's kicked 2 goals tonight for only the second time in his career he's had multiple goals. Here's Doherty, ball in hand.
He didn't come off the boot that well on that occasion for Jaron Geary. There's Michael Klein, one of the best photographers in the business, sitting on the boundary line, still doing his job there. And they capture some great shots. Now he's sitting right where that long mark was taken. Wonder whether he got it, whether he was there previously. I think he did. We have heard he's got the shot. So we'll see that in the papers tomorrow as Wiedering knocks it to the boundary line. And there he is, Kleiny. He's been around for years, does a great job, and let's hope it's his name underneath that photo tomorrow, Bruce, of that Ben Long mark.
If he's got a BT, he's feeling really good right now. He's going to have an easy final term. He's feeling like he's had a good night's work.
He has indeed. Now, let's see what the Blues can conjure up here. Battling hard, Setterfield caught in the tackle, and I think wow. Umpires let it go, said no prior opportunity. That's Brent Wallace there.
Jonathan, you going up? Thanks, Jonathan.
Got to break through early here, the Blues. Got to break through early. Pitternet knocking it down. Billings was there fast. Doherty, I think, got the initial little handball out. Now Simpson wants to go long. Jobe wanted him to bring it over on this fat side of the ground. They went where all the traffic was. And over the line it goes.
Well, Jobe's right in that situation. They've got to come off the line. I was listening to what David Teague was talking to his players about, and it was take the ball quickly off the line. Just change the angles with your ball movement. Might just open up little pockets of space and maybe open up the game for a goal or two.
Let's see if they can put that into practice. Steele.
Lingy, even at risk of turning the footy over this early in the last quarter, you still think that's the ploy?
Yeah, with the margin the way it is right now at 23 points, absolutely. Be brave, be bold with your ball movement, and risk losing by a little bit more going for the win, not just playing it safe. I think they're going to set the tone for this last quarter and gain a little bit of belief by just pinging that ball around a little bit more than they have in the first 3 quarters.
Carlton playing with an extra defender right down deep behind all the St Kilda forwards.
So they've patched up the clearances, the Blues. They haven't been that far behind all night. Marshall out of the air. He's been a winner again tonight. Here is Geary getting it back to Membry. Has it got the legs? Oh, yes, it might have. I think it's gone through for a goal.
Good man. Good talk, well. Same process as well.
Marshall, such a big winner, I reckon. Membry, good goal, and again Geary doing some very good work in the forward 50, but Marshall's influence on the game is growing, I think, in the centre now. He's winning some clearances, not only winning the taps. And now it's going to be oh so hard, isn't it?
Nunes is the spare player that Jobe was talking about. He tries to be brave there and come at the footy, but the second that he doesn't influence it, just opens up St Kilda for a chance. Great finish by Membry there, but if you're going to play that spare defender really deep, as Jobe pointed out, he's got to make sure he influences the play, wins that ball, and then they get some counter-attack. When he missed it and couldn't influence, open it up for the Saints.
St Kilda by 29. Blues up against it. Hit a net in the middle. Marshall elevating over the top. Almost had such a hold on the footy that he almost threw it and scooped it. And
50 metres, I'll take it. I'll take it with me.
50 against Mark Murphy.
Thanks, guys. Mark, get to stay out now.
So Murphy told to stay out. Ed Curnow's got it. Caulfield just wants to get on with it. Drawing handball to Ross, he thought. I thought as well. Went to battle, back to Ross. Left footer, remember. Got it around the body. High footy. Anyone's ball. Up went Pitternet. Knocked down to King. Shook the tackle off. Got it out the back. Loney. Butler. Simpson. Carlton live to fight another day.
They do. Doherty's poor kick doesn't get very far. Marshall having a big final turn. Billings wrong side in, good to Kemp. And St.Kilda are surging again here, aren't they? They're playing this last quarter a bit like they started the first. And I do believe it's starting with Marshall. He's now dominating the ruck contest.
Head and shoulders, Joe, when he is taking that. It's like domination in the middle, isn't it?
He's been really good, and a young ruckman, and you can see why St Kilda are so keen to play him and give him all their time in the ruck.
Well, this to give what we think is an unassailable lead. Kent, that ball's coming back. Has it got the legs? Oh, that is a big finish, isn't it? So the two Tats ones, eh? Membry and Kemp. So Kent with that last quarter goal. And this is a good response by a team that I think is evolving before our very eyes, don't you? Both maybe on and off the field. You talked about that membership BT earlier. So on and off the field, the St Kilda team, you feel like they're becoming something again.
We just have a look at just the athleticism and the ability to hit that handball on the ground. I think, Bruce, you're talking about this team evolving in front of it. It's the youth and the building blocks that we're seeing that are so impressive. And Marshall and King and these smaller players, the development of this St Kilda side before our very eyes, I think is what is going to really excite St Kilda fans for the next 5 years.
Pretty exciting stuff for them. You can tell they're genuinely excited by it, enthused, and they've kicked both goals here in the last. Casbolt to Martin, Martin to Murphy, Murphy to Cripps. He got it tumbling forward, and here comes Mackay. Bowled over in the end, and it spills wide.
BT, you touched on Long's willingness to compete and his physicality. It was just a fantastic contest there. Running back, just got a little knock on the ball to spoil Mackay from running through, but it's a real evolution of his game.
I never thought he was like a workman-like player, a get-down and get-dirty player, but he's proved to me he's as hard as anyone out there in the last couple of games. I don't know whether he's changed or whether that's always been there and it's just been a confidence thing.
Well, I think sometimes it's a confidence thing, it's a feedback thing from your teammates, and then your desire and willingness to play your role in the team, and part of that is being physical when it's your turn, and it's been great to see him do that.
He's become a real dasher. Great to watch. Handball comes to Marshall. Marshall keeping Paddy Ryder out of the side at the moment, so that's how well he's going. Wiedering. Bit of a grubber kick, little throw.
Back. Advantage.
So advantage paid. Murphy over the top, Betts on the end of it. Centering ball wasn't his best kick. Cunningham didn't absorb it with the body, went with the hand instead. Now Billings. Handball was just a little heavy on that occasion for Clark. The tackle by Clark was pretty good. Steele has a go. He misses. Gibson, a little bit of ball candy. Nicely done. Now a high footy into Mackay. Off hand. McGovern's there. So is Doherty. Squirted the handball back to Ed Curnow. And a centering ball to Gibbons. And Gibbons will line up for a much-needed one for the Blues.
Tom, out. Thank you. Here come Tom.
So Michael Gibbons been playing some pretty good footy the last few weeks, 15-18, and a career-high 25 possessions last week, as Bruce mentioned earlier. 1-3 from set shots this year is Gibbons. This one, a 48-metre kick. Looks pretty good. It is. I think it's a Blues goal. It's there. So Michael Gibbons gets his first, brings it back to 29 points. They fought hard for that, the Blues. And it's all about time for them now. 11.5 minutes remaining in the game. 29 points down.
good contest here by the blue forwards, and a clever kick by Curnow just to square it up to the free player, and Gibbons is a nice finish.
Good pick up. Well, he listed medalist a couple of times, wasn't he? A terrific VFL player. He's done a good job. They've just got to keep, sounds ridiculous, Joe, they've just got to keep scoring here, Carlton. Win, lose or draw, they've got to just keep scoring here.
Yeah.
I mean, they haven't been terrible tonight. They've been outplayed by, I think, a good team.
Yeah. I want to see you on the Toyota fan zone couch, one of those couches one night, Bruce. I want to see you there enjoying the game.
Well, I vote for 18 teams, so you're going to get plenty of chances, BT. I'll take you up on that. Who doesn't enjoy it? So remember his kick forward. That's well weighted towards Geary. Walsh got back. And then Walsh, doesn't get it far enough. And Kent cuts it off.
We've seen a couple of times, Bruce, tonight, the forwards for St Kilda staying switched on and active and playing a defensive role. And again, Kent, fantastic ability just to stay involved, stay connected to the play, and a defensive action that leads to a turnover and a shot on goal.
That spoiled his birthday, Sam Walsh, Bruce.
It did, 20 today, eh? No longer a teenager. What a season last year he had, but quietish night tonight. And Kent's just missed. Lingy, just a quickie to you. Other clubs, the blueprint on Cripps and Doherty tonight. No to them going forward, do you think?
Absolutely, yeah. Important players to shut down. You stop their influence. You stop so many of those other young players who rely on them. And Jack Steele's done a good job, especially early on. I have noted that Cripps has fought his way back into this game, and Steele perhaps enjoyed winning the ball a bit too much and didn't reset his defensive mindset. He needed to get back to making those strong defensive decisions, but
good mark
rolls
there from the test pattern. There's Simpson. Gets nailed in the tackle.
No, he landed on his back, then rolled.
The umpire's decision there, Brent Wallace. And Simpson with the free. Remember the test patterns, Job? You wouldn't have been born then.
No.
The ABC used to knock off at midnight and throw a test pattern up until 6 a.m. and then we'd wake up and the test pattern was still there. Remarkably.
What happens when you want to be
probably
watching?
sat there calling it.
Boy, there's Martin. Out of defence, high ball. Casbolt. Been a rarity for him in the air tonight after having such a good start to the year. The kick is wide through the hands of Williamson, and here go the Saints again. Gresham, little kick sideways. Kent, left footer, loves to go on the left. Neat little ball, and Dan Butler has snuck loose, and he'll milk the clock here for the 30s. Kicked 2 so far, Dan Butler, following a great week last week.
He's been really good. It's a perfect example of the movement that Brett Ratton talked about pre-game. The ball wasn't, players weren't running quickly, but the ball was in constant movement, and in the end it was Dan Butler just standing free in the forward 50 by himself.
Just a few of those choc milks in the back of Brett Ratton's box, left in the fridge there. See him up in the back corner. I think it's ice or something. It's a sort of a coffee thing, Bruce. Iced coffee.
It's all yours, BC.
There's Butler. Kicks it to the left. I'm just not sure how many were there to start with.
Job, I've learned over the years, Job, you'll learn, but over the years when BT's digging, better off to leave him in the hole on his own.
I think it was a Dare iced coffee, Bruce. Take it away.
Do you reckon those
by Cripps?
Do you reckon those giant signs were a giveaway, BT?
I never looked that widely.
So Noon's got it from Cripps, back to Noons, and he hugs the line. Gibbons plays it defensively. Long, who took a spectacular mark tonight, will be in the top 2 or 3 for mark of the year right here and now. So the Saints, with seemingly, well, yes, they've got an unassailable margin now. They made all the running, got off to a fast start, challenged in the 3rd term.
Holding St Kilda.
Good player, Marshall.
Yeah, you've talked about him a lot tonight, Bruce, and he's been really, really good, really impressive for a young ruckman to do what he's done thus.
Thanks, Patrick.
He's a little Grundy-like in that he can, he wins a lot of ball too, doesn't he? And he moves so well.
Yeah, he's becoming that extra midfielder, isn't he, Bruce?
Absolutely, BT.
So the Saints very wide here, and that's out of bounds on the ball. So Wiedering quickly back into play. Simpson trying to find space out on the far side of the ground. But I tell you what, the Saints tonight, Joe, have worked brilliantly in the defensive transition in this very situation.
They have. They've really blocked Carlton's ability to move the ball out quickly. And I think a big part of that is playing that defensive role on Doherty, because he generates so much run and carry out of that half-back line.
Here's Ed Curnow. Still no sign that Charlie will be back anytime soon.
No, I don't think there's an expectation on him playing in the near future.
Williamson. That's a down the field free. Jack Noons, game 160 for him tonight. Most of those with the Saints. There's McGovern. Jack Martin's lead was just a little too early. Cripps come late, but he goes long, looking for Pitternet. And over the top, good mark taken, Battle.
The bloke who kicked that footy and then for Carlton, Mitch McGovern, he's the one they've got to get more out of. That was only his second mark that he's taken for the night. Only had the 4 disposals and really hasn't given them that target. Levi Casbolt up there, Harry Mackay. They need McGovern roaming around that forward line as that third mobile, dangerous tall, and he's got absolutely nothing out of him tonight.
Jones has taken a couple of good ones after half-time. Yeah, he's kicked at least 1 goal in every match so far this year, McGovern. So quiet, you're right, Lingy, tonight. And Howard half protecting Patton and half running into him, but it didn't matter then. Patton's kick not great. Petrevski seeking to cut it off, and then with some pace to take Howard on. And a stoppage.
Thanks, guys.
We'll just look at Sam Doherty here, and he's leading the sprints, but he just hasn't been able to get the freedom and that run and carry that Carlton need to generate ball movement off their half-back line. It's been really good coaching from this St Kilda team.
Cripps burst the way, left foot snap. No problems at all from the superstar. So Cripps trims a little off that lead. It's back to 25. But with just 6 remaining, tough gig. Having a look at the stats here for Paddy Cripps tonight. 15 touches and tackles for him tonight, Joe. Just having a look, 2 tackles, just 2 tackles for Cripps.
Well, you don't get voted by your peers as the best player in the game and get shut out of the game for all that long. And Paddy Cripps was quiet. Jack Steele did a good job on him in the first half, but this second half he's been really strong around the contest, creating goals, and a wonderful finish on the left foot there.
Beautiful bit of foot candy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He's fought back well, hasn't he? I mean, he hasn't had his best match, but he has fought back well. Marshall again winning the tap. Ross swung around. Setterfield, a couple of goals in that third quarter, but Billings' goal was arguably the most important of the match. Battle's kick, he's been impressive, Battle. Steele, wonderful first half. Back to Ross. I like the depth in St Kilda too, Joe. I mean, they bat deep, don't they? They bat deep, I reckon.
Just thinking the exact same thing, Bruce. And you look at St Kilda, they targeted the 2 captains of the Carlton team, and it's had a real effect on how the teams play. But St Kilda have had more contributors tonight, and that depth has really shone through.
So Wiedering with a switch to Jones. Been a fine player, Jones, for the Blues, former Dog. Murphy's had a quiet one. He got the 3 Brownlow votes against St Kilda late last year, but not tonight for Murphy.
It's a good point on the Saints when you think of Ryder and Dunstan and Jones. And there's others, Bruce, that aren't playing tonight. The depth that they have as well is impressive. Quick kick here by Phil. Goes wide and finds Doherty. Wastes no time. Magnificent kick by Doherty. A really good kick to Cripps. Now he's got leads on everywhere. Martin is the target. And Martin probably thinking it might almost be out of my range.
It's just a perfect example of why the St Kilda coaching staff have said, well, the 2 players that are most important that we have to shut down are Doherty and Cripps, and then another talented player for Carlton is Martin. But They've identified who the dangerous players are and they've taken them out of this game.
48-metre kick. Martin couldn't quite make it work.
Well, Doherty, Joe, 500 metres at least this year in each game. Tonight, just over the 300. So the influence not there. And in the end, he's going to end up with some reasonable numbers. And so's Cripps. But when it really counted in the first half, it wasn't to be, was it?
No, that's right.
So well done to the coaching staff of the Saints.
Contact. That's striking. Right. 50 metres. 50 metres. Close fist. Yep.
So I think inferring that Mark Murphy with the prohibited contact there.
Up here.
Oh, boy. Oh, goodness gracious me.
Mark, you're coming.
That was like a mozzie bite.
Play on.
Bruce, that was a mozzie. I've never, like, you know, it wouldn't even leave a red mark on you.
Right there, Dave. Stay out.
Gresham from back.
Bruce, if this was a close game and that 50 was paid, we'd be screaming.
You'd be out of your chair right now. Here's Gresham's kick to about 60 metres. Oh, Jones again. That's a good one.
Yeah, it was a great grab. Half back, and let's see if they can get something from this. Or look how quickly Kent got to the man on the mark then. Now putting pressure on Plowman as well, so they're going to catch up with them eventually, and they're able to not hold them on this occasion. So Cripps is able to penetrate the forward end of the ground. Good mark taken by Cunningham.
Stay out.
Cunningham sent half forward, 55 out, too far to score. Can he spot up someone on the lead? Here comes Casbolt. He wanted interference. And the mark taken by Hill in the back half.
Lingy just thinking about Hill. Good mark by Marshall. Hill's had a really quiet night. You're right there. Has he been tagged out of it? Has he just not been in the right spots?
No, I think it's just one of those nights where all the running that he's been doing, and he's been doing plenty, it just hasn't meant that he's ended up with the footy. And sometimes players like him who work so hard on the outside just don't quite find the footy, but their running is still crucial to the way the team's gone.
So Doherty and Cripps getting a bit of it in the last quarter. And Ross's quick kick wide, marked by Jones. So Jones to bang it back in.
Yep, decides to go long. Casbolt should mark this. Good spoil in the end by Howard. Handball. That was Marshall again, quickly out. Dan Butler with some fancy footwork. Loney back to Butler. Sneaky play. Butler a bounce. Takes on Petrevsky-Seton, who's no slouch. Handball back into Billings. Got a good bounce. Got a really good bounce. Setterfield able to now get hold of the footy. The tackle by Caulfield. Are just possessing one. Little handball over the top from Philp. Now wide, now in control. Cunningham down the line. Jack Martin's got a back. It was brave. It was really brave. He knew what could have happened. Well done, Martin. Martin to Betts. Betts in the pocket. Little kick, McGovern. Here's the man that Lingy said just needs a bit of a lift. McGovern, high ball. And Nunes will mark directly in front. Wastes no time. Nunes from 50 metres out launches a long bomb, and the crowd roars.
Good on Carlton. They've kept coming, haven't they? They're not going to get there, but they've kept coming.
Yep, they certainly have, Bruce, to get it back within 18. After it looked like when they got out to 35 in this quarter, it could be a 40, 50-point margin. To trim it back now to 18 is a good effort.
It was a great call here, BT. With Jack Martin going back with the flight. Didn't know what was coming the other way, and then clever square up here from McGovern.
Good finish by Noon. So they've chipped away the Blues. They've kicked 6 goals after half-time, 3 in the third, 3 in the last. So they'll take something from the match. They've been outplayed for most of the night. Marshall probably just getting over the top of Casbolt. Billings, good hands to Ross, to Long. Steele. So many good players for the Saints tonight. Gresham. Back to Billings. Taken in between Kelly and Bontempelli. It's always been an interesting thing, but Billings getting better and better with each season. He's a fine player and belted away at the back by Casbolt.
So, Bruce, the amazing thing here, St Kilda are going to be 3-2, Carlton 2-3. All teams this week, no one knows what's going on next weekend as yet. They're not sure who they're going to be playing, where they're going to be playing it. We're waiting for an announcement possibly tomorrow to decide on that.
Exactly. At the moment, we've got St Kilda against Geelong next Thursday night. That's at the moment, don't we? So
the exciting venture of this year continues, Bruce. We love it.
We do. Gresham's, Handball, McGovern. So the Saints get to 3-2 and are going to be in the top 4 tonight.
Yes, the Saints delighted with their performance. 3-2, an 18-point win over the Blues. Down to you, Lingy.
Well, Hannahs, we hate to see it. The ice went on the hammy. How bad is it?
I'm not sure yet. Obviously, probably just got a skin in the nose. Felt a little bit tight over the far side and tested it back out when I came on, and yeah, felt a little grab there, but hopefully it's just a minor thing, if anything. So
did it get worse as it went on for a little bit?
Oh, it felt okay initially, a bit tired, and then probably got worse after I went back on. So yeah, but I was feeling pretty good to go back on, but yeah, unfortunately it's a little bit tight there. So hopefully it's yeah, not too bad.
Frustrating because you're covering the ground really well and form's been excellent. You must be frustrated.
Yeah, I mean, obviously had a pretty good run at it for a while, probably since the back end of last year in terms of sessions and games. So, yeah, I mean, obviously he was covering the ground pretty well in the first half, like the rest of the mids for our side. So we've got some fair bit of depth, though, as we showed today. So hopefully some guys can come in.
Really impressive performance from the team. The ball movement through the middle of the ground, especially early. Must be pleased with the result.
Yeah, it is. I think sometimes we probably shoot ourselves in the foot a little bit and go too quick, but guys get a bit excited. But no, overall it was a really pleasant performance. Some of those young guys are starting to get some really quality experience into them now, and it's yeah, going to be really pleasing going forward.
Thanks so much for having a chat with us. All the best with the recovery, mate. Thanks, Hannahs.
Cameron Ling down there with a very, very disappointed Dan Hanbury. He was starting to look solid and putting a few games together, and then all of a sudden just not sure how bad, as he said, yet, but lower hamstring, it appears at this stage. But the Saints getting over the line. Back to you, Lingy.
Well, Jack, congratulations, first of all. We love the battle between you and Paddy Cripps. Obviously set yourself for it. How did you see it going tonight?
Well, initially it was only a starting point. It wasn't a plan for the game, so I was doing well early, and Russ wanted to keep it, so, yeah.
You clearly with a starting point, then you had the mindset where you still had to go and hunt the footy yourself, and found heaps of it.
Absolutely. Obviously, I've been tagging the last couple of years, and there was a few games earlier in the season where I didn't have a role, and I struggled to get the footy, so using it as a starting point helps me get involved in the game, I guess.
And when Paddy went forward, you're more comfortable staying around the middle of the ground, just swap it over?
Absolutely. It's just at stoppage and sort of the bobble, I guess, and then he sort of can get soaked up in the rest of the team defence. When
you're doing a job on a bloke like Paddy Cripps, it must be nice having Rowan Marshall in the ruck. What a game that he had tonight.
Yeah, he's unreal. He's a great asset to our midfield, and yeah, we're glad he's doing what he's doing.
Well, I love the battle. Well done tonight. I don't know which way the points. You get the points for the first half. He fought back a little bit, but I think in the end the scoreboard gives you the win. Well done,
that's
mate.
fair enough.
Great job.
Appreciate it.
Well done.
Yep, the scoreboard is the only stat that counts at the end of the match, and the Saints get home by 3 goals. The Blues kicked the last 3, so pretty good effort. They were 35 points down, 5.5 minutes into the last quarter. Gibbons, Cripps and Nunes getting those goals. Nunes getting one back against his old team, but all up, you take the points at this crazy old season we have at the moment, Rui, and you go home and wonder where you'll play next week.
Yeah, that's right. Well, these boys, who knows where they'll be? Who knows which state they'll be in next week? But you've got to bank the wins while you can, and it was a It was a convincing performance in the first half. Carlton, really, they had opportunities in that third quarter, Doom, and probably cost themselves being a little bit closer to get that scoreboard pressure on.
They're kicking around the ground, cost them as well. The way they bring the ball forward by foot isn't fantastic. I mean, there's some young kids in there that miskicked it a little bit. Williamson, Walsh, Liam Jones miskicked a few times. Will Setterfield's not the world's best kick, but you can rectify this over time, get better at it. But these blokes are the story. I mean, these guys have settled into their work. They've settled into the game format that Brett Ratten has set them. And you can see, when you get buy-in, when you get belief is such a strong thing in a football team. These blokes believe in Brett Ratten's game style now, and they will go to any length to run hard enough to carry it out. Dan Butler, fantastic once again, 2 goals, forward pressure through the roof.
The post-match brought to you by Ford Ranger. Let's go inside the St Kilda rooms. The doctors and some of the staff there, of course, down to a minimum of 27 staff. As the players come in, let's have a listen inside the rooms and listen to the song. I think it's an advantage having the clapping. It's kept them in time, hasn't it?
You don't get any rows.
No, they used to get a little bit sideways at times. Yeah, it's good structure there now.
I think a lot of clubs will stick to it.
Yeah.
They are better renditions.
I think it was Milne brought the echo in. When the Saints. Who's attempting to do that in the background now?
I don't know now. It was Jack Stephen for a while, and he was notoriously out of time.
Yeah.
He had the